Hello students, in this video we will discuss about gymnosperms. Okay, gymnosperms. There, see, we are discussing about the plant kingdom. I will open this one. Okay, the plant kingdom. Again, I will discuss this flow sheet. So algae is bryophytes are divided. Plant kingdom is divided into algae, bryophyta, pteridophyta, gymnosperms, and angiosperms. Algae, they do not produce any embryos, whereas bryophyte, pteridophyte, gymnosperm, angiosperm, they produce embryos, since they are called as embryophyta. Bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms, and angiosperms, they grouped under tracheophytes. Why? Because they have a xylem and phloem. Hence, they are grouped under tracheophytes. Whereas gymnosperms and gymnosperms and angiosperms are called as phanerogams. Phanerogams. Why? Because they produce the seeds, whereas bryophytes, pteridophytes, and algae do not produce any seeds. Okay. Now, today we are discussing about gymnosperms. Gymnos means gymnosperms, in simple word, gymnosperms is naked seeded plants. They are called as what? Naked seeded plants. Naked seeded, it seems there will be a seed and which is clearly visible without any covering of a fruit. Usually in angiosperms, what happens is there will be a seed with surrounding the seed there will be fruit, but in gymnosperm there is just will be a seed. Hence they are called as naked seeded plants, and they do not produce any fruits, they do not produce any flowers, but they are vascular plants. They are having xylem and phloem, and the plant body which we are seeing is called as a sporophyte. Here the plant body is, main plant body is called as a sporophyte. As I have already explained what gametophyte and sporophyte. If you are confused with the point, please go and watch that video. Okay, then they are intermediate between pteridophytes and angiosperms. Okay, these gymnosperms are intermediate between pteridophytes and angiosperms. During Jurassic period, that is nearly 200 million years ago, they were completely dominant on the earth. The earth was completely covered by gymnosperms only. Now the even today there are we can see gymnosperms. Some species require extreme cold conditions like polar regions, and there is a tree called as Ch3-Plant, which is the tallest tree which is present on the earth. Tallest tree among the plant kingdom is Ch3-Plant. Okay, along with the roots, see here, along with the root system, there will be another type of roots which are associated with the gymnosperms. They are called as coralloid roots. They are called as what? Coralloid roots. Coralloid roots are the roots within which blue-green algae are present, within which many blue-green algae or cyanobacteria are present. You know why cyanobacteria will be present. They help in nitrogen fixation. Okay, for nitrogen fixation there will be a special type of roots are present. They are called as coralloid roots. Within the coralloid roots there are a number of cyanobacteria are present. The gymnosperms are heterosporous. Heterosporous means they produce microspores and megaspores. They produce microspores and megaspores. Microspore is nothing but male reproductive male gamete, and megaspore is nothing but a female gamete. This microspore develops and gives rise to a pollen grain. Microspores develops and gives rise to what? A male gamete called as pollen grain. Megaspore develops and gives rise to egg cell. Gives rise to an egg cell. This egg cell is having nucellus, and hence it is called as a ovule. Here egg cell is covered by a nucellus and it is covered by a covering called as integument. Hence it forms ovule. Hence after fertilization, when the male pollen grains come and contact with the female gamete, after fertilization the zygote will convert into embryo, and this ovule will convert into seed, and this seed will be completely visible to our naked eyes. They are completely visible to our naked eyes, hence they are called as gymnosperms. Okay, so this microspore and megaspore producing structures, sometimes they will be, not sometimes, in all the gymnosperms they will be forming a cone like structures called as a male cone or a female cone, or they are also called as a male strobili or female strobili. Here the spore producing structures called as a microspore producing structure and megaspore producing microsporangia and megasporangia club together to form a cone-like structures. If it is completely made up of male reproductive structure, it is called as male cone. If it is completely made up of female reproductive structure, it is called as a female cone. Okay, the pinus, the male and female cones are strobili borne on the same tree. Sometimes what happens, in the same tree, male cone and female cone are present. For that, the example is pinus, whereas in cycas, male cone and female cone are present on the separate plants. They are present on the separate plants. Male plant is separate, a female plant will be separate. Okay, then transfer of pollen grains takes place. Transfer of pollen grains from male reproductive structure to the female reproductive structure taking place with the help of wind. This is the small video which explains details about gymnosperms. Here the things we need to note down is why they are called as gymnosperms, because they are naked seeded plants. They are intermediate between pteridophytes and angiosperms. The structure which we are seeing is called as a sporophyte. The main dominant phase or the main plant body is called as a sporophyte. Here the gametophytic phase is very much reduced. Gametophytic phase is very much reduced. Gametophyte can be seen when a microspore develops and gives rise to pollen grain, and megaspore develops and gives rise to egg cell and ovule. Only during this two period we can see gametophytic phase. When the egg cell fuses with when the pollen grain fuses with the egg cell, it immediately forms a sporophyte. Then sporophyte develops and gives rise to male cone and female cone, leaves, root and stem, everything will be sporophyte. Once they produce microspore, and this microspore gives rise to pollen grain, megaspore gives rise to egg cell. Only during this period what is there? There will be only gametophyte. Gametophyte can be seen for very small duration, whereas sporophyte is very dominant. This is very important from this chapter. Okay, thank you.